Hey guys, you're looking at the first video of the new unit. The new unit's going to be World War One. If you look down here, it says there's 73 slides. Don't worry, we're not going to do that. In fact, I just started my little handy dandy stopwatch on my cell phone, so I guarantee we're going to try to keep this a good time. We'll come back to this picture, but maybe take a second and look at some of the things you see. You're going to see here this gentleman has a gas mask on. You're going to see a machine gun. One thing we'll spend a lot of time talking about is look at where their eyes are looking on a machine gun. They're not looking down here to see where the bullets are going. They're working a machine, hence the word machine gun. Alright? That was only 38 seconds. So I want you to think about this. Your best friend, the one who you can count on to always back you up and support you no matter what, has begun picking fights in school. He or she feels slighted and underappreciated and wants to make the show over how popular and important she is. You don't completely agree with the motivation here, but you share a long and important connection. You and this kid have been friends since you were little babies. There's a little baby. Alright, now this kid, who you've been friends with since a little baby, alright, goo goo gaga, is basically pushing, shoving, causing some fights, and one of the fights is the first big fight is gonna go on after school tomorrow by the bike rack. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna help your friend? Are you gonna stop your friend? Take a moment and think about that. Our goal for today is what were the main causes of World War One. Spoiler alert, you will either write this down now. I want you to think about, is it easy to remember it as NEMA or main? We are going to use a mnemonic device in this unit. I've always used NEMA. Other teachers use main. Alright, so we're 1 minute in. One way to think of World War One as a bad 80s teen movie. Boy wants to be the toughest guy in the school. Yo, you don't know me. You don't know the set I roll with. I roll deep, son. So the boy wants to have a girlfriend and to have people follow him. Look at my set. I got the prettiest girl. I got all these people follow me. And to be the tough guy, you got to knock off another tough guy. So they keep bumping into each other through the hallways, and then they start recruiting friends. Think about it. If you know a fight's going to go down in every 80 movie, first thing they do is, who's got my back? Are you on my side or that side? And then, West Side Story, you get this escalation that happens. Oh, you're going to bring a bat? Here's guy one. Here's guy two. He's like, yo, I'm going to knock that smile back on your face. He's like, no, you're not. So he says, I'm going to bring a bat. Well, he says, dude, you're bringing a bat? I'm going to get a knife. That's a knife, really big one. You're going to get a knife? Well, I'm going to get a chain. That's a chain. I'm going to whip you with that chain. And you can see how it could escalate to where he says, I'm going to bring a gun. Oh, yeah, you're going to bring a gun. I'm going to bring 2 guns, 4 guns, 8 guns. And it just keeps escalating. So let's look at this in a more fun way in honor of the seniors. Here's Gerald. Notice the first letter in Gerald is G. Over here is Frank. Starts with F. Germany, France. I'm sorry, Germany and Frank. They're athletic boys. They're newly strong. They've just been to the weight room. Hey, let me introduce you to the gun show. New muscle cars. Frank's a little wealthier than Gerald. They both have a ton of friends. They're seniors in high school. They're neighbors. They see each other all the time. Back in the day, they used to ride each other on the bus, and always fighting over the same girl who lives in their neighborhood, Alice Laura. She's a beautiful girl. She's wealthy. She has a lot of friends, and this sounds really disgusting and kind of sexist, but on some level, she's a status symbol. If she picks him, Gerald thinks like he's winning. If she picks Frank feels like he's winning. And he's like, have you seen my muscles? I'm pretty awesome. Alright? Notice the propensity of near mullets. Fair enough. Alright. So let's think about this. What leads you to believe Frank and Gerald are going to fight? What will the boys fight over? What do they have to gain? What do they have to lose? How will the school be affected by the fighting? Compare freshman nerds with the senior jock effect. People are going to pick sides. Oh, that kid was on my soccer team. Da-da-da. How are their friends going to be affected? That kind of comes back there. How will the boys try to gain status in school? Now, another analogy I like to use for this unit is think about your grandmother using a cell phone. Watching my mom use a cell phone is one of the funniest things ever. She yells at it. She presses too many buttons. My fingers are too fat to press the button. Or they yell. Like you can see this lady's yelling. All right. So what are the 4 causes? NIMA. N-I-M-A. Nationalism. You want to be number 1. Frank and Gerald wanted to be number 1. Imperialism. They're trying to build up an empire. This is kind of the sexist part. I use the example of the girl. They're trying to fight over the girl. They're trying to build an empire. Remember, imperialism is where a powerful country controls several less powerful countries. They're fighting over the prize. Militarism is the building up of armed forces to get ready for the war. And alliances is the agreement and commitment to defend and help each other's government. So, I'm number 1. Everybody should be with me. Yo, you bringing a knife, I'm bringing a gun. Oh, you're bringing your boys, I'm bringing my boys. And it's going to go down. All right. Well, that hurt. I'm really not feeling 100% today. Nationalism. This was an age when all the nations wanted to assert their power and their independence. In Europe, the Slavic people, aided by Serbia and Russia, wanted to be free of Austrian rule. And here you see the crest. Serbia's national flag. What were the main causes of World War I? Nationalism. Countries acting in their own national interests instead of maintaining peaceful relationships. Here's the other thing to think about. Nationalism is another form. First thing you need is a country to be proud of it. So some minority groups are going to say, I need to have a country so I can be proud of it. I don't want to be part of Austria. I want to be part of my own country. And oppression of ethnic minorities led to jockeying for freedom among these mixed populations. You hear a lot about this in immigration. Think about it in a mosaic. Each little piece has its own individual aspect and adds to the whole. You often hear the example melting pot. The problem with melting pot is then everything loses its all individuality and everything starts to be the same. Think assimilation. What's the I? Imperialism. What were they imperializing? The colonies for Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. Remember, last unit, those are the 3 areas we saw. We could have connected that a little easier. Aggressive policy with a priority in building a nation's armed forces to gain power and influence. Alright? Imperialism. All the great powers were competing for colonies' territory. The British feared Germany and Africa. The Austrians feared Serbia, Russia, and the Balkans. We'll go over, remind me, if we don't talk about it on the video in class, we'll go over where the Balkans are. That's a big deal. Germany was competing with the UK, the British, to build battleships. The British feared an attack on their empire. So remember, France and Germany are fighting over a little piece of land called Alsace-Lorraine. Germany's fighting with the British to be the number 1 nation in the ocean. Wait. Nice. Nice. Get it, militarism? Germany was competing with Russia and France to expand their armies. Look at how much Russia... Look how much money Russia is spending on their military. Alright, by 1914. Alright? Good. So Russia is the new guy trying to play catch up. Alright? So here we go. Nationalism. Let's look real quick at this. This was an age when all the nations wanted to assert their power and independence. In Europe, Slavs, aided by Serbia and Russia, we talked about that, wanted to be free of Austrian rule. We did that already. That's weird. Ooh, this is cool. What were the main causes of World War I? The alliances. So notice, France starts recruiting people, Frank, to be on their side. They're like, who hates Gerald? Let's get Great Britain. So Germany says, ooh, we need a friend, let's get Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary is thinking, we need somebody to help us in case stuff goes down when people try to break away from us. Russia's like, ooh, you know what I hate? I hate Germany. Because remember, on a map, there's Germany, there's France, there's Russia. So the Italians and the Ottoman Empire all go with Germany. They're called the Central Powers. Eventually, I should put like a little wiggle here. Eventually, the United States goes in. So these are the alliances. So think about it. If the Ottoman Empire attacked Russia, the United States, Russia would have to be like, no, you don't. So basically what they created was a giant tangle where one mistake could lead to world war. And that's what you see here. Serbia, right, eventually gets attacked by Austria. Russia had promised to protect Serbia. Germany had promised to protect Austria. France is always ready to attack Germany. So this is kind of the chain of events that leads to the war. Who starts the war, really? Austria, by attacking Serbia. Russia has to defend its little brother Serbia, so it attacks Austria. Once Germany sees somebody attacking Austria, like, oh, Russia, you bad bear, I hate you. Boom, that's what happened. Boom, that's what happened when you mess with me. France is like, ooh, Germany's in a war, let's get them. Nationalism, oh, we already did that. I'm not going to waste your time. Alliances, that's a much better map. All right? By 1914, all the major powers were linked in a system of alliances. The alliances made it more likely that a war would start. Once started, the alliances made it almost more likely to spread. Because the deal was, if anybody attacks red, all the reds got to attack them. If anybody attacks blue, all the blue got to attack them. Earlier, we mentioned the Balkan Peninsula. It's this area down here. Alright? Tangled alliances. Otto von Bismarck saw France as Germany's greatest rival. He wanted to isolate France, Germany, Austria, Italy, and Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Kaiser Wilhelm became the ruler of Germany, and again, because of this, we see the triple entente. We're going to stay with the other terms, and eventually, the war is going to kind of start here in the Balkans. So, boys and girls, we're going to stop for that today. So, what I want you to think about is, in fact, watch this. Watch this. Really, so we're going to stop here at slide 19. And we're going to ask you to think about NEMA or Maine. I like NEMA because it's almost an order. N is nationalism, nice. I is imperialism. M, militarism. I'm abbreviating it because I'm running low on time. And A is alliance system. Other teachers like Maine because it's a word you guys use. So this is video 1 of chapter 13. Alright, and according to my promise, I think I'm good because we're at exactly 12 minutes.